Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract prosperity so easily, while others constantly struggle with finances? Maybe you are doing everything right, following the advice you hear out there, yet you still don't achieve the financial success you desire. What if I told you that the secret is not just about working harder, but adopting smart financial habits that most people never consider? The Bible has given us powerful clues about this for centuries, and the truth is that those who follow these principles reap impressive results. Today, we will explore biblical financial habits that can completely transform your financial life. Ready to discover what's missing in your plan? Living below your means is a concept as old as biblical wisdom itself. Joseph of Egypt is the classic example. He knew that times of abundance wouldn't last forever. With strategic financial planning, he saved during the prosperous years, ensuring that Egypt survived the times of crisis. Applying this to our modern lives, living below our means allows us to make smarter choices, avoiding unnecessary debt and saving for future opportunities. Think of that old maxim, save some for tomorrow. You never know when an emergency might arise. Now, imagine you are getting a raise at work. Most people would feel tempted to spend more. After all, who doesn't want a comfortable life? But what if, instead of spending it all, you saved part of that money, like Joseph did? The Bible teaches us that prosperity is not just about having a lot but managing what we have wisely. Those who live on less than they earn build a solid foundation, ensuring that any unforeseen event, like a financial emergency, doesn't destroy everything they've built up until then. So, how have you been managing your finances? Relying on just one source of income is a risk no one should take. The wisdom of Ecclesiastes shows us this clearly. Sow your seed in the morning and at evening let your hands not be idle. Ecclesiastes 11 verse 6. This means we should plant in various fields, diversify. In today's financial world, this means having multiple sources of income. If one stream dries up, we will still have others to sustain us. Whether investing in real estate, starting a side business, or even creating passive income streams, diversification is key. Have you thought about how you could increase your sources of income? Maybe it's time to consider opening that online store you've always had in mind or investing in real estate funds. The truth is, when you spread your seeds, as the Bible teaches, you increase your chances of reaping fruit in more than one field. Those with multiple income sources not only survive crises but thrive in tough times. And you, have you thought about how to plant your financial seeds? The story of Joseph in Egypt is a true manual of financial planning. When he interpreted Pharaoh's dream, he knew that 7 years of abundance would be followed by 7 years of famine. And what did he do? He prepared the country for what was to come, creating an emergency fund that saved the people from misery. Today, the concept is the same. Setting aside part of your income in an emergency fund is essential. We can't predict the future, but we can be prepared for it. If a crisis arises, like job loss or an unexpected expense, having this reserve ensures stability. So, how do you start creating your emergency fund? Ideally, it should cover 3 to 6 months of basic expenses. Does that sound like a lot? Start slow. Saving consistently, even a little, brings results. It could be that small percentage of your salary that you set aside every month. The important thing is to build this reserve with discipline. After all, as Joseph taught us, the wisdom lies in preparing during times of abundance to face times of scarcity. Have you started building your fund? The parable of the talents is a powerful lesson on how we should use the resources given to us. In the story, the servants who multiplied their talents were rewarded, while the one who buried his was reprimanded. This teaches us that money shouldn't just sit still but should work for us. Investing wisely is one of the most effective ways to increase prosperity. Whether in stocks, real estate, or business, the important thing is not to be afraid to make your money grow. Remember, those who bury their resources will never see the fruits. Have you thought about how to invest your earnings? It could be in stocks of major companies known for stability, or even in government bonds, which are safer. The secret is to diversify, but always with wisdom. Just like in the parable, wisdom lies in not being afraid to multiply what we have, knowing that financial planning can open doors to true prosperity. And you, are you making your money work for you? Of all the riches we can achieve, wisdom is the most valuable. The Bible repeatedly teaches us that knowledge is important, but it's the practical application of that knowledge that leads to true prosperity. The story of Solomon is an excellent example. He asked for wisdom, and with it came everything he could desire. By seeking wisdom, we not only become more prepared for adversities but also more capable of seizing the opportunities that arise. And that wisdom can come in many forms, whether by reading the Bible, studying finances, or even learning from mistakes. How can you apply this to your life? A good start is to study finances, like financial planning or investment strategies, but also to learn about emotional management and discipline. Books like The Richest Man in Babylon, or even the Bible itself, in books like Proverbs and Ecclesiastes, offer practical teachings that can transform the way we deal with money and opportunities. After all, those who seek wisdom are never alone. And you, have you been seeking to increase your understanding of financial life? Now that you've learned about these powerful financial habits, the question is, how will you apply them in your life? Remember, the difference between those who prosper and those who remain stagnant lies in the actions they take from the knowledge they acquire. Are you ready to take the next step? How about starting by defining your financial priorities and creating an action plan today? After all, your prosperity is within your reach. You just need to seek wisdom and act with intention. Speaking of which, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you don't miss more valuable tips like these. The path to a blessed financial life begins with a decision, and that decision can be now.